London, London, London. It's not an exaggeration to say that the time I spent here constituted the best year of my life. Finally being able to attend the London School of Economics was a trip. The journey to that attendance was years in the making. I initially applied in 2019, got accepted in January of 2020, then had to live through 2020, which meant having to decline my acceptance because I couldn't get a visa, which only happened after I had already bought my ticket to London, quit my job, and given up my apartment. This meant moving back in with my parents as I reapplied for LSE, freelanced, recalibrated, bought a Gucci, booked a trip to Mexico because I thought I hadn't gotten accepted to LSE, got a new job, then got re-accepted to LSE. Suffice it to say, it was a long time coming. And after that second acceptance, there was still so much that had to happen before I could even come. Frankly, I didn't believe I was going to be able to go to LSE until I was boots on the ground, head on the pillow, in my dorm. I remember when I finally arrived in London and I was in an Uber on my way from Heathrow to Butler's Wharf, and I was smiling in morbid serenity because I was almost certain that after everything, something tragic was going to happen to me on that drive in this last leg. But by the grace of all the gods, old and new, I made it, and the rest of the year, a blur. An amazing blur, the best blur of my life. And so when it came time to spend my last week in the city, I spent it in the places I liked the most with the people I liked the most. From museums and cafes and restaurants to bars and parks and just home. It was emotional and it was necessary and it was closure. On reflection, now that I've had some time and distance between me and those last hectic weeks, I can perceive the year at large and see that there are 3 key takeaways from my time in London. First, London was a lesson in indulgence. It was a lesson in learning where the line was between a good thing and too much of a good thing. And at the end, I do feel like I learned to walk that line very well. I've never lived somewhere where all of everything was available to you so long as you had the time and money to afford it. No matter what it was you wanted to buy, try, or taste, London had it. In one of my journals, I remember writing, "If I can learn moderation in a place like this, then success is just a matter of time." And moderation to me is not an ascetic principle. It means filling your life up with as much good as you can be healthy about. More about an upper limit than learning to subsist on the minimum. London was a city of maximalism in terms of what was on offer, and I'm a maximalist kind of person. And so my time there was mainly spent negotiating how much I could be healthy about. And the answer was quite a lot. I fit a lot of really, really good, exciting, indulgent, joyous, hilarious moments into my time there. And when I pushed that upper edge and felt that I was going into the point of too much, I learned how to reel myself back. Discipline. Thing 2. Purpose and place matters a lot to me. I've had the good fortune of being able to travel a lot in my life, and I've hit that point where for the most part I feel like I've fulfilled my quota of aimless wandering. I have to hedge this though, because I certainly did my fair share of aimless wandering in London, but it was in the context of being in London for school, which gave my overall time there more meaning. It gave it purpose, it gave it a center of gravity. And that kept me focused, without eliminating the role or the benefits of spontaneity. I knew what I was there for. It kept me grounded in a sense of direction, but I knew that in the times I didn't have to spend fulfilling that purpose, I could wander, I could enjoy, I could discover, and spontaneity was a huge part of my time. But that purpose anchored me, and it made the time richer for it. So moving forward in my life, I feel like I need to kind of assign purpose to the places I go in order to not feel so floaty, so filled with helium. I feel like there's a lot to be said for going to a place with purpose and then existing in that place with the capacity for spontaneity, balance in all things. Thirdly, London was a slow burn love affair. When I first arrived in London, I loved it for its novelty. Hearing languages from around the world, all around me, all the time, is everything I ever wanted. History became a fond part of my routine as I walked across Tower Bridge, past the Tower of London, past St. Paul's, past the Royal Courts of Justice, all on my way to school. But I remember that the city's grandiosity, while it resulted in a honeymoon period of sorts, once winter came around and there were only like 5 functional hours of daylight, and the wind, rain, cold combination of some days took my desert-born and raised ass right out, I was almost certain that London wasn't a place I'd want to stay after my program. But there was one day in late winter when I was walking across Tower Bridge and the moon was on my left and the sun was on my right, and that was my italicized "oh" moment. That was when I knew I could always find something in the city worth staying for. My friendships only grew richer from there, my attachment to place grew stronger, and when it came time to leave London, I was mildly distraught. And then the Queen died 2 days before I left, and that felt extra final. So yeah, London meant a lot to me. It taught me a lot, and I have never felt more myself than I did for the year that I was there. And I just wanted to pay homage to that.